All right, everybody. Welcome back. Brett just came off the track, right?
Yeah, I was out doing
As we can tell.
doing some freestyle moto. Just came off the course there and switched into a t-shirt and grabbed a fresh Monty, and here we are. It's
Nice.
been a crazy weekend, man. I am.
Did you actually switch t-shirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brought a little friend with him too, Mike.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mike, what's your last name? Sorry.
Nordström.
Nordström.
Yeah.
Like the
Big warehouse.
Like
yeah.
the big warehouse store.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's all right.
There we go. We've had a great couple of days here. Brett showcased, he premiered his video, That's Sledding. And I was telling Brett via text, I thought, like, out of everything that I saw here, that one kind of like just kept my attention the entire time. I love the feel to it, the commentary. You know, it wasn't just like huge, big hit sends one after another, but there was just like, did you do it in chapters?
Yeah, we did it in chapters.
Like that chapter sequence was just kind of fun.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, exactly. We tried to make it a film. So, the whole idea behind That Sledding was, let's expose where I started and
Yep.
how I got there and where I am now and how I can give back to the sport.
Yep.
And the early release that we got to see here this weekend is a condensed version of where we're going to land on the director's cut for the final upload.
Okay.
The final upload will be late November, early December. So we still got a lot of meat to add to the bone and refine. But the feedback and being able to just watch it on a big screen was super fulfilling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm glad to hear that you're stoked that like the storyline worked. You know, when Tim Gray and I were working together, and there's all these inspirational things on the walls in my shop, right? And he's like, we got to touch on that, and we're going to touch on this, and we're going to show this. And then it came time for voiceovers, and you're standing in the studio, aka my garage, with the door shut, ripping these voiceovers, and I would start rolling, and he's like, no, we got to script it. And then I'm like, shit, dude, I'm not good at script. And then we would rip script. And he's like, okay, that's a good one. Now I want you to half script, half freestyle. And I'm like, holy smokes. And we did land some amazing, voiceover work. And I'm no Morgan Freeman by any means, but, to hear that the voiceover transitions between chapters really made people feel like, I had guys like Keith Curtis being like, man, I had goosebumps watching your movie.
Yeah.
And for me, that was like, okay, we're on track.
We're on the track. Yeah, we're on it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that was fun. Well done. Loved it. Can't wait to see the full rendition of it here in a few months. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So, but we're here. Brett's kind of. This is your second co-host this trip for us, huh?
Second co-host. I mean,
you had the Sea Boys before. Hopped on, helped out with that one, and
yeah, I love BSing. So it's it's at the end of the weekend here for me, and I'm able to actually finally relax. My schedule is opened up. I just rode my last moto event, as far as I know, for the summer.
Yeah.
And I've got my eyes set on the horizon. So it feels great. I mean, my wife flew out this afternoon, didn't get to watch me ride. And she's like, oh, I'm so bummed. Like, the weather's great. I know that you're going to throw
on the best day of the trip.
She's like, the weather's great. I know you're going to throw down. And I'm like, you know what, babe? Like, I'm on cruise control, you know? But then I started riding, and then the cruise control got flicked off by accident.
Oh.
And it just went right into NAR mode again.
Oh, NAR mode. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But enough about me, dude. Let's talk about
we got Mike.
Let's talk about how Mike has made his way. This is your second year at Heydays, right, Mike?
Actually, third. Yeah.
Third year.
Yeah.
And prior to coming here as a vendor or an industry support, you have been here not specifically to this venue, but you've been a participant in Heydays also, right?
Yeah. I was there first time in 1992. Going out with Bender Racing, who was deeply involved with Yamaha. They actually drag raced here in 96 and 97 at the old place. So I think between 92 and 2003, I was here every year.
Have you got to collect some Heydays hardware ever, or are you kind of right on the bubble?
No, I was really, really close, but no, that's my big sorrow for this. I didn't win anything, but
I think you're kind of in the winning circle now, though.
I guess.
With your position in the industry, you're winning.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It's a revenge, big revenge.
Yeah. So when did you guys first personally meet?
Frick, that was probably 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, I think it's through Emil Arling.
Yeah, we met through Emil Arling. And I had always had my eye on Öhlins suspension, and I was in a position where I didn't really have a suspension sponsor or the support that I was finding necessary, and I seen an opportunity to jump on with a brand that was on the come up.
Yeah.
And for me, I knew that the company was more than just snowmobile. You know, I've ridden dirt bikes, I've ridden mountain bikes with Ohlins on them, and always loved it. And so it made sense to try. And just through industry connections, you know, being able to connect the dots, and it led me to Mike. And, he sent me a specialized set of shocks for a video part that we were doing, another Monster Energy project. And it was a home run right from the get-go. So I think that like really kickstarted our relationship. And now I'm just riding around on the best suspension in the world, and it's amazing.
Yeah, we'll get into why it's the best suspension in the world here shortly. But I think we covered Mike. For those who don't know Öhlins, like where are you guys located?
Öhlins headquarters is located in Sweden, in Stockholm. That's where it all started. Actually, next year is 50 years anniversary.
Did you say 50?
50, yeah.
That a boy.
Yeah, so
good work.
The founder, his name is Kent Öhlin.
Okay.
Kent, and they started off with dirt bikes, and then even as early as in the 80s, they had was snowmobiles.
Okay.
And so actually dirt bikes, snowmobiles were kind of the first thing to start, but now it's grown to... like I said, it's not that many know about it, but like say for over here, like all the NASCAR run on Öhlins.
Okay.
We have MotoGP. They're like first, second, third spot in the World Championship last 20 years.
Yeah.
We got 5 teams in Formula 1 running Öhlins. And we got boat shares. We got and sailboat. Yeah, they got Öhlins. It's a lot of different stuff. So
and you focus mainly on the power sports segment. Is that correct?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I got a separate company who I've been running, working with Öhlins or their products since late 80s. But last 10 years, my companies they kind of let us so we do all the development and research and development on and distribution on the power sport at ATV snowmobiles side by side. So we do that and basically what happened, we got a lot of requests like way back from all, even from over here. But I wanted to get all the settings, all the shocks and everything set up before we started ship stop over here. So I think actually 3 years ago we met first. When I shipped the shock to you. So
Mike, what got you to ship a shock to Brett?
Why?
What got you to do that?
I think it was actually through email, and I've been working with some influencers, whatever you can call it, over there, and I know the importance of it, and I did a lot of research and see what kind of people I want, because I did. Even that, I did some amazing mistakes. You kind of think you're going to work, and that didn't really do anything for you. They just want to have a set of shocks, and I can take a picture. I can take a picture of a sled in the snow. So,
I'll send you photos.
Yeah. So that's we know all about that. But I saw Brett, and it was. He's been doing a lot of stuff, and I like the professionality in him. And he's doing a good job, and Brett's heard me say this before, but the nice thing about Brett and what's really cool about his program is it's a year-round thing. Yeah. And where snowmobiling is more obviously a season, if there's a season to it, a lot of times you get guys who will turn it on and then they turn it off and they turn it back on. And Brett does a really good job of just keeping her pinned all year.
Yeah, I was telling somebody that last night at the party. I was like. They're like, oh, don't you ever have an off season? I was like, yeah, 3 weeks in September. But then
that's hunting season, right?
Those 3 weeks in September, I'm getting up at 4 a.m. to go chase bugle and bulls. So it feels like work some days. But yeah, my program does run year round, and to be able to stay visible and to show value to sponsors and be consistent is my number one goal with
Yep.
with my program. And luckily I'm in a position where I can do that. I can be on the bike 3 days a week and be at shows and be visible, have conversations, and it brings conversations up organically. When I'm riding my dirt bike, people are like, oh, I thought you were a sled guy, and so then I'm still talking about snowmobiling at a dirt bike event.
Yeah.
And it's a wild life that I live, man, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. And
Yeah.
and to hear Michael, speak to the professionalism is like, I try to do the best job possible. Sure, there's probably some things that I could be better at, but where I think that I really, strive to really nail it is like taking the time to just interact,
Yeah.
whether that's YouTube comments, direct messages on Instagram. I run all my own stuff. I don't have an agency. Even on the ride over here, Michael and I were doubling on my dirt bike.
We saw that. You rolled up like Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, doubling on the dirt bike over here, and a little kid comes up to us, and he's just like starstruck, and his parents are there, and they're like, "Oh, he really looks up to you." And my bike was in gear, and I had the clutch pulled in. I gave him a knuckle bump, and I was like, "Man, you want to do something really fun?" He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, and I told him, I said, just give the throttle a couple of good whacks, and I got the clutch just clamped. I don't want to loop us out. And he grabbed a handful of brrr, brrr, and just to watch him light up, I was like, damn, that's sick.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's the kind of stuff.
Made that kid's weekend for sure, right?
Oh, he's gonna be talking about that forever.
Yeah.
So, that's where I try, albeit I'm a dad of, 4 children. I have that relationship or that connection to that younger generation that maybe some other riders just don't understand. So for me, that's where I try and like really lay the stamp on it.
Awesome. Speaking of the wild program that you put on, so Brett, shoot, you hit me up in the spring and you're like, hey, I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm going to need a direct replica of my wrap. And I need it shipped to this address in Sweden.
Yeah.
And you had a big trip planned to do some cool stuff at Ohlins headquarters. We did that replica. We shipped it over to, I guess it was probably you, right? Like
my
right there in your shop.
Showed up at Michael's shop.
And we had a direct replica so that, kind of that branding kind of stayed together with this last season. And wrap turned out sick, but I think this shot right here, we were talking about it, Mike. Isn't this shot from Sweden?
That's from Sweden.
On our back wall over here?
Yeah, Caleb and I were having a little like slushy tech session. And I got a little hop over in there on the 146. You guys nailed it on that kit also. Being able to, just answer the call. We made some graphics changes a little bit. To the naked eye, it's not visible, but you and I understood what we were looking for, and it was either chrome or gloss, and I had matte or gloss, and Tiffany was matte chrome at home, and we went to Sweden. I'm like, it's gonna be sunny. I hope it's sunny. let's make it pop. So we went with the gloss option, and it turned out stunning, dude. Michael said it's the best looking snowmobile in Sweden.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, a lot of people, everybody who's seeing it is like, it's really nice. It's really nice.
So where's it at? Where's it at right now? Does she have a name? What's the Swedish name of Tiffany?
Well, so this name just kind of spurred on me last night. We're talking to Ty D, and we were talking about suspension. Michael may have talked to Ty D earlier, and Ty's like, man, look at the size of the shocks on that sled on Tiffany in Sweden. I was like, yeah, Michael specially built me those shocks.
Yeah.
Like they're oversized. They're one of one as far as I know, right?
Yeah.
So the Tiffany turned to Stiffany because the suspension on that rig is out of this world. Like
love it.
100 footers to flat.
Yeah.
And just, so. Yeah, we got Tiffany in Canada, and we got Stiffany in Sweden.
Love it. Love it. So tell us about that trip. So what was that trip all about?
What was it all about?
Yeah,
Mike?
it was. It's really impressive because Polaris, they have a. It's called a Riders Club. All the people loves Polaris. Go out. They got the 4 events every
Usually
year.
a couple hundred people that go there, right?
Yeah, and they have like a final season final, and that's where Kayla was there this spring too. It was there last year. So it's like all those Polaris people, the Polaris Europe, they have some food trucks and stuff. You eat food, they cook food out in the nature, and it's like a kind of like a give back to all the customers.
Mhm.
So and
That's rad.
It's really nice.
It was the most insane experience of my life. I mean, I've went snowmobiling in Chile. I've been all over North America. I've seen some shit,
Yeah.
you know, and Mike's like, yeah, we got this idea, you know, can you get some suspension or can you get some, you know, some products? We did some backwoods bumpers and, you know, rail braces and the wrap, obviously. And I sent CFR bars. So I had all the comforts at home
Your ideal setup,
in
yeah.
Scandinavia. And like he says, like cooking in nature, dude, we were deep in the backcountry and there's like this teepee set up and they're like home cooked meals in the middle of the tundra, dude. So you leave from the parking lot, go and do your riding, and then the clock dings and you're like, oh shoot, it's lunchtime. And then everybody that's on that ride just conglomerates in this massive sort of tundra open area. And there's this teepee looking tent in there. And the locals, right?
Yeah.
The locals are cooking, you know, the one day was moose chili and shaved reindeer meat
Ooh.
and mashed potatoes. Like it wasn't like a muff pot meal. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
a little
like-
bit better.
And you know, they got a drink spread. It inspired me so much to see the passion that they put into giving back to their riders. Like it was a full production. There was
Yeah.
a Polaris parts trailer parked in the parking lot for people if they needed to pick parts because they had issues. Like it was like having a dealership on the road. It was insane.
That's rad. So that was, is that the Polaris Riders group?
Riders Club.
Is it a weekend thing or is it a week-long thing or what is it?
Yeah, it's like Thursday to Sunday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone on the phone the other day on a call, someone who we're going to be working with hopefully over there. And they were like, you need to get to this. If you come over, if you cross the Atlantic, this is the one you got to go to. So
I've never experienced anything like that, dude. You have like all of the best riders that are on Polaris, you know, support. And then you have all of these rippers. Like Michael says that it's, you know, the people that love to ride. But it's not like one or two good guys. There's like 20 of them that are just willing to huck themselves to get one landing that's going to stick and like get the shot.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
And so you have like the pros, you know, myself, Caleb, Emil Arling, you know, all these other dudes like Ferdy. You know, we're ripping around, we're looking for features and we'll like maybe start prepping one and sessioning one. And then you're just like swarmed by 20 dudes that are so keen. They're like lining up in behind you, like you'll go in to get your try in, and before you're landed and down, they're already on the run and going and like getting their piece.
like
you know?
Disneyland, man, just feeding them through.
Absolutely, and just like to see that passion in that. I mean, it's spring, right? It's been a long winter for those guys, and you know, they're still going for it, in you know, in this like slushy snow.
Sure.
I call it, or refer to it as like slush pow. You know,
Slush
like
pow.
you got to wait until lunchtime-ish before it actually softens up to the point where if you got to bail off, you can.
Yeah.
And it's not rock hard because at night it freezes and gets quite stiff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just an unreal experience.
That's rad. Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to get over there. So
Yeah. I mean, and aside from the, you know, the riding and the experience, you know, I got to spend a ton of time with Michael, stayed at his family home, met his wife and his kids, and got to, you know, go in the shop and see where he's hand building all of these suspension packages. And, you know, along with that, going to the Ohlins factory and seeing, you know, like he was saying all the different categories that they're involved in, right? F1, NASCAR, MotoGP, motocross, mountain bike. To see the production that they can send out of that building was astonishing. Like, you know, and I had never ever thought of it that F1 cars are running Öhlins, and NASCAR, every single NASCAR is sitting on Öhlins, you know? And you go into these divisions and they have techs and they have their own bays and they're sitting there, you know, I don't know team names or anything, but Team A, they're working on Team A's right rear or their front left, you know, feedback from the weekend before that they're trying to get better for the next time they go race that track, the next year probably.
That's crazy.
And to get that product in your hand and to be able to like look, feel like it was, it was world class. It was cool.
So speaking of world class, I think like those who are watching and listening here, the big question is what makes Öhlins different? And you've been able to ride probably a few different, brands throughout the time. And then obviously we've got Mike, who's in there, eating, breathing, sleeping Öhlins. What makes your product the best out there? Different.
I would say quality. We have different levels of snowmobile shocks too, but we have quality is in oil, all the compression valves, shims, everything is like top quality. And that's maybe one of the reasons you won't see all the shocks on all the snowmobiles, because cost-wise, you can't. The manufacturer can't put all on all models because it's going to be the cost is going to be too high. But we have developed this series for snowmobiles now is as low as we can, but the quality is. The quality is so high, so that's whatever. The most important thing I would say. It's so I mean, and people ask me what's the difference between the Ohlins and other brands, and I would say two things I would say left is like usually all the shocks is really soft and comfortable, like low, but without bottoming. Is the ramp up or the progression in it is gonna make it like really soft, but without bottoming. You can see those guys, doing.
It feels bottomless. Like it always feels like there's more stroke to give. So if that makes any sense, it's plush in the initial, and then Mike referred to the ramp up. So you have to think of the stiffness. Call it a stiffness chart. And if we're gonna go right to left, you would shape it like a radius, right? And that plush stays nice and low for a long time before it starts ramping up. So you do get that nice supple feel in the small bumps and on the small angle terrain. But it also has that progression ramp that when you hit something hard or you hit something with a large impact, it ramps up and just continually adds resistance in the stroke, as opposed to just blowing through the stroke and hitting the bump stop every time. Like you can go look at the bump stops on my 9R XCR that's over there from that film project, and the bump stops don't show wear. And so for me, that tells me that the suspension or the hydraulic is doing the work versus the springs and obviously there's some
stuff going on behind us. That's for sure.
It's tear down day at Heydays. I guess the quick and dirty of it is it's plush in the bottom, but it'll take the abuse needed to get it done. And that's why it's so diverse. I mean, I'm constantly changing clickers, based on feel in the ski shocks. My skid stays fairly consistent all season long, but with the backing the Mike has in snowcross and the feedback that I'm able to give because I race snowcross, like we have a solid understanding of what we need my suspension to feel like. And to be completely honest, the suspension that I ran in my snowmobiles the last 2 seasons is the exact same one that comes out of the box for an OEM, or not an OEM, but for a general customer.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So it has that adjustability factor, Mind you, there is times where I'm like, Mike, I need more. Yeah.
That's not the thing. The second thing I was gonna say, the adjustment ranges are so wide if you compare
okay.
to other shocks and it's OEM shocks. So that's the other thing. You know, you can. It's when I kind of manage this to customers, I feel like they don't really believe what I'm saying since they're working with us like a stock shock. It's we've been working a lot with those. So to have that range, the wide range of adjustments. So
okay. From a consumer standpoint and looks wise, where did the gold come from? Because you guys haven't strayed away. You haven't strayed away from that, right?
no,
Like the color.
the color is like the Ohlins.
Hey, don't let that guy start that.
Oh, hey. Oh, Brett Turcotte was
He was reacting quick.
yeah, was sitting on the skid, and someone fired it up. I think we got it out in time.
Yep.
Dude, you got out of this seat quick, man. That was a close call right
Yeah,
there.
that was a quick little fire drill there. Yeah. He's like, no, dude, I'm just warming it up. I was like, okay, well, I made it all weekend without crashing my bike. I don't need to get it twisted up here.
Yeah. So, anyways, the gold color is pretty iconic, you know, for someone who I'm not like a big NASCAR guy, so the familiarity there is not there for me. But you know, when I started seeing it hit more on the power sport and the snowmobile side, it's cool. It's a smart branding thing. Like it sticks out. You know it. You know who the manufacturer is of that shock. Super easy and quick, and it looks sharp.
Yeah.
So
that you answer your own question, I guess.
yeah, why right?
Yeah.
Branding
paint,
sticks out.
I shouldn't give other brands a lead here, but why paint it black? You don't see it.
It's well distinguished. I mean, I've had snowmobiles of all different colors in the last few years, and the most consistent part of it is that the suspension stands out. And you wouldn't think that the yellow and the gold would pop like it does until you get it out in the snow or you put it against another color. I thought maybe it was going to clash.
Yeah,
but
so
I think
did
that
I.
it has this there's this distinction.
And it's not a ton. Like there's not a ton of it, so it's just kind of like
Yeah,
a nice little splash there, you know.
totally. And it's very distinct. I mean, for example, look at my dirt bike right now. Black fork legs on it, a black rear shock body. You're like, what is that? KYB? Is that Showa? What is
Yep.
that? Given the chance to have Öhlins on that, the fork legs would be the fork legs would be gold, and the tubes would be gold, and the shock body would be gold. So you would look at it and be like, yeah, 100%. That's Öhlins in it. You know what I mean? So you guys have done a really great job. And I say you guys as a general term because you work so closely with Öhlins. Öhlins has done a great job of stepping outside of the box and being very distinguished.
Yeah, absolutely.
My take on it, anyway.
Yeah. So for those of us out there wondering, what's next? What do you got cooking? What's in the hopper?
The bigger thing for us to try to set up a dealer network.
I was going to ask that. I was going to say,
dealer network.
how
in
are we
the
getting
US.
product over here?
Yeah, we're shipping like it is right now. We're setting up dealers and we're hoping to get more dealers. Preferably, we're working against like dealerships, like Polaris dealerships. Since we got a lot of stuff. We got ADV. Polaris, there's a lot of stuff happening in Europe they don't know because in Polaris Europe has all the shocks and the accessory catalog for the Chaos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we made so they're running ATV of Sportsman 570 Ohlins edition. They have for like 6-7 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, with Ohlins shocks. So we're trying to set up a dealer network, work slowly to get the right dealers. So and that's what we. Focusing on the power sport dealers and that's another big what we're working at. But otherwise, just to get feedbacks, as the market over here is a little bit different than back home. It's not much, but a little bit different. But just improving parts and improving shocks and the fielding and everything, and listen to customers. So that's it. I would say it's like Brett is like the little kid there is. We're kind of, we don't want to do like this, give the customer what we think they want to have. We want them to have, take the input from customers, change if, and being humble about it. So
Yeah, they're the ones who are on the snow, typically the most, right?
Yeah.
Get the most paces put in various terrain and whatnot. So for that guy or gal who's out there and is like wants to be some sort of sponsorship and ambassador, is there some sort of program that someone can get on or someone can work towards? How do you guys run that? If you're not a Brett Turcotte, how do you get involved here?
Yeah, they either contact us on social media like Instagram, like Ohlins Power Sports that we run, and contact us there, or go to our website ohlinscenter.com and go under contacts and send us a mail, and we kind of evaluate to see who the person is and what they want and what kind of what we and this person can benefit for a corporation. So
yeah. Awesome. Brett, is there anything I haven't asked that I should be asking? Is there something out there that maybe you've been able to see, working more closely with Öhlins and Mike here?
I mean, I think really what it comes down to is just like the benefits. I try and work with the best companies that I have available to me to complete my program, right? Obviously, everybody is trying to be the best, but I'm trying to surround myself with like-minded individuals, products that work, and products that are going to, be long-term and to be supportive of my brand. I'm not a cookie-cutter athlete by any means. A little rough around the edges, a little out there sometimes in the stuff that I say or do, but having, brand partners that are willing to back that and to be able to get that from Ohlins and from Michael at M&R, it completes the package of what I think is the best setup that I could have.
Yeah.
And it also allows me to maybe push the limits a little bit more and maybe find where that edge really is for myself. Like Michael was saying, the range between a stock shock versus, an Öhlins, there's a difference there. Yeah. And that difference allows me to push my abilities and that comes in multiple different facets, whether it's, confidence, the ability to just trust that if you need it, you can, take a massive case or, you end up deep. All of those things go into account. And, I think just having the relationship with Michael to, tell him what I'm feeling, what we think that we could change, all of those things hold a value. And for me, that's what really, really completes it. That's important to me to, to be able to communicate and understand and come up with a solution.
Sure.
And currently we've got a great solution. We got a shock that works and looks amazing.
Yeah. Love it. So, Mike, what's next for you guys? Do you guys head back home? You going to do any more shows in North America this season?
No, we're not going to do that. I'm thinking maybe going out to Epping. You're going to go there?
To Epping?
Or is it with Backwood? What's that? Hastings?
Yeah, that's the Epping, New Hampshire show. So I have to look at the dates on that. Yeah.
Well, I want to go out there. I did some grass drag racing there in the 90s. So I've been there since then.
See what it looks like now, huh?
Yeah.
I went last year.
We were there.
I
was there too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. We got a 1st and 2nd of November. We got a big show in Rovaniemi in Finland.
Yep.
It's actually the city where Lynx make their snowmobiles. So it's really, really big. And last year, turnout on Saturday was like 15,000 people.
Wow.
So it's kind of like a heydays for Europe for snowmobile and power sports. So we're going to be there and planning to do a big thing there. So that's going to be great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know we kind of had a time here because there's chaos is about to strike here.
Yeah.
Any moment with takedown and people, the mass exodus here. So, Brett, you got a long way home. We got a long way home. You got an even longer way home.
No, he got a longer way.
30 hours in the pickup I got to look forward to.
Oh, okay.
I'm 17 about. So
you're 17.
Yeah.
You got the shortest trip home, bud.
I know.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it's nice. Hey.
Yeah, that's nice. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Ohlins and Brett, Mike, for jumping on and rounding out our podcast sequence at Heyday. So love it.
Hope to see you in Europe.
Yeah, I hope to get to Europe.
Yeah.
Yep, that'd be so fun.
Yeah. Hey, maybe Riders Club next year.
Yeah,
that'd
be great.
Seems like that's the place to be. So
yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
We'll see you on the next episode.